guys, we are here to discuss our topic assigned, which is the members of multidisciplinary teams in a special education who is responsible for assessment. And these are the administrator, the regular teacher, the SPED teacher,
students and guidance counselor, DIETICIAN, physical therapist, and school psychologist.
And the methods of assessment and importance of 6 decisions.
Also, we are going to discuss the different educational placements such as mainstream, integration, and inclusion, and how to place both regular and special education students. Let's watch this!
So what is multidisciplinary theme? It is approach including the integration of values, perspective, and ideas gives an accurate decision-making process in identifying the academic, social, and vocational needs of the child to develop an individualized educational program that will meet the needs of the student with disability. The administrator. Special education administrators play an important role in the education of disabled students. They are responsible for overseeing programs and services for students with learning, physical, behavioral, or linguistic disorders.
So meaning the administrator are the one who plans, supervise, and manage the programs that the specials or the children with special needs with them.
The regular teacher. They strive to motivate and engage older students in learning rather than simply accepting that some students cannot be engaged and are destined to do poorly.
The regular teacher or the general teacher plays an important role in teaching the learnings of the children with special needs or disabilities because they adjust the lessons just to fit of each individual in the classrooms.
The SPED teacher. Special education teachers are expected to do quite a lot. Assess students' skills to determine their needs and then develop teaching plans. Organize and assign activities that are specific to each student's abilities. Teach and mentor students as a class.
Education includes assisting general education, also teachers, in identifying and assessing children with disabilities or special needs. It is under the lessons to fit the students of each individual as part of individualized education projects or programs or IE.
Students need to be attained such as critical thinking. Critical thinking is important for students because it gives us the ability to think in the right way in solving problems in more efficient and rational way. Set management teach students to follow on plans in completing their tasks and studying for tests and also to stay focused in class. Next is communication literacy. The students need to revert the appropriate communication style. Also, students need to learn how to communicate so that they can easily give their opinion. Next is application information technology. As today, we all know that technology has a huge impact or contribution in educational process. Also, technology helps students to do their tasks easily. Also, technology is helping students to work together in using different platforms. As well as flexibility. Flexibilities teach students how to allocate or control the resources they have. Also, flexibilities avoid the dynamic such as failure, anxiety, procrastination. So what is the role of student? The role of student is to be encouraged and to be active participants in their own REP. Next is to create goals or objectives in life. Third is making friends or socialize with others. Fourth is to express themselves. Fifth is to organize themselves. Sixth is to attain their need to be globally competitive. The next member we need to study and to learn is guidance counselor. Guidance counselor has a vital role such as to provide aptitude tests, to provide counseling services, and to aid the clients with their adjustment. Also to help students, including those with special needs, to is concerned with improving a student's ability to function, social, emotional, and behavioral capacity. Third is to provide families about educational law and educational regulation. Fourth is to work with other multidisciplinary members to ensure that the special needs of each student is being met. Fifth is the advocacy of guidance counselor is the well-being of the student. Lastly, the guidance counselor helps the family to understand school policies and procedures.
Dietitian. Dietitian is also called nutritionist. Dietitian, an expert on diet and nutrition. We have a team of dietitians to ensure patients get healthy, balanced meals. So dietitian is an expert on diet and nutrition. Diet and nutrition are key components of many conditions managed by physical therapists. Nutrition can directly affect recovery and function while an individual is under a physical therapist care. Physical therapists are movement experts who improve quality of life through prescribed exercise, hand-on care, and patient education. Nutrition can directly affect recovery and function while an individual is under a physical therapist care. Physical therapists or PTs should be concerned with address nutritional intake and eating patterns of their patients and clients. School psychologist is a type of psychologist that works within the educational system to help children with emotional, social, and academic issues. The goal of the school psychology is to collaborate with parents, teachers, and students to promote a healthy learning environment that focuses on the needs of children. The school psychologist is still a relatively young profession. The National Association of School Psychology, or NASP, was established in 1969. So what school psychologists do? School psychologists work with individual students and groups of students to deal with behavioral problems, academic difficulties, disabilities, and academic issues. They also work with teachers and parents to develop techniques to deal with home classroom behavior and other tasks, including training students, parents, and teachers about how to manage crisis situation and substance abuse problems.
IDEA makes it clear that parents are full and equal partners with schools in determining and meeting the needs of a student with disability. The members of multidisciplinary team assess child with suspected disability and they determine if the child is eligible for special education services. The team's role is crucial because it helps to determine the extent and direction of a child's personal journey. Assessment involves collecting information about the student for the purpose of making decisions. It is the process used to determine a child's specific learning strengths and needs. Assessment plays a critical role in the determination of 6 important decisions. Assessment is divided into 2 methods, formal and informal. Most of the time, informal assessments are created by teachers, while formal assessments are usually created by professionals and experts. First decision is the evaluation decision. It is an assessment process that provides detailed information about a student's strengths, weaknesses, and overall progress. Second decision is diagnostic decision. It is an assessment process that collects information about the specific nature of the student's problem or disability. third decision is the eligibility decision. It is an assessment process that provides detailed information about the eligibility of the student for special education services. Fourth decision is the Individualized Education Program or IEP decision. It is an assessment process that will help in creating an education program for the child with special needs. Fifth decision is Educational Placement decision. It is an assessment process that provides information about appropriate educational placement of a child with special needs. Sixth and last decision is Instructional Planning decision. It is an assessment process that provides instructional plan based on the child's social, academic, physical, and management needs. IDEA lists 13 categories of disabilities under which children may be eligible for special education or related services. These are autism, deaf-blindness, developmental delay, emotional disturbance, hearing impairments, mental retardation, multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairments, other health impairments, specific learning disabilities, speech and language impairments, traumatic brain injury, and visual impairments. So that's the different kinds of assessment that will help in making a decision for child's development. Placement refers to the amount of time in each school day that a student spends in the resource or in a general education classroom. The school district is required to have a range of placements where your child can be taught, including in the general education classroom.
What is mainstream? It is the practice of educating students with special needs in regular classes during specific time periods based on their skills.
Mainstream means that a school is putting a children with special needs into a classroom with their peers who have no disabilities.
Let's proceed to the importance of mainstream.
Children with special needs allows them to be in more natural environment than self-contained classrooms do. Individuals with special needs are expected to function in society alongside typically developing peers. Mainstreaming is very important, especially to the children with special needs, because they can also enjoy a natural life and a natural environment. They can also have more peers because of it. And mainstreaming help them or help us to avoid discrimination between regular students to the special students.
Are you familiar with the difference between integration and inclusion when it comes to classroom environment? The trend in education today is moving away from integration and toward inclusion. While both approaches aim to bring students with disabilities into the mainstream classroom, one system expects students to adapt to the pre-existing structure, while the other ensures the existing of education system will adapt to each student. An integrated classroom is a setting where students with disabilities learn alongside peers without disabilities. Extra supports may be implemented to help them adapt to the regular curriculum, and sometimes separate special education programs are in place within the classroom or through pull-out services. In theory, integration is a positive approach that seeks to help students within disabilities be part of the larger group. Integration supports student outcomes that include: first, improve social skills, improve their social skills, interact to other people or students. Second, exposure to typical classroom structure and curriculum.
Third, exposure to educational content that is appropriately curated for interest and skill level. Inclusion is the actual merging of special education and regular education with the belief that all children are different, will learn differently, and should have full access to the same curriculum. Students with disabilities are not expected to adjust to affect education structure. Rather, the structure is adjusted so that everyone's learning styles can be met. Barriers to learning are removed to allow each student to participate fully in the curriculum and feel equally valued. The end result is that all students with and without disabilities benefit. To start, developing an inclusive model at your school integrates students with special education needs. Integration refers to exceptional students being partially taught in a mainstream classroom. Activities are adapted so that students can fit in with their mainstream peers.
The Admission, Review, and Dismissal Team or the ARD team decide the placement and changes in students' special education program. The ARD committee, composed of the parents, one regular education teacher, one special education teacher, a district representative, a person who can interpret the instructional implication of evaluation results, and individuals with knowledge of the child's discretion. The committee will develop IEP or Individualized Education Program or Individualized Education Plan. It is designed to meet the child's unique educational needs. IEP contains about the child's strengths and needs, observation and results of the state and district-wide tests of special education evaluation, as well as their academic needs in certain areas such as language, behavior, and social skills. After creating the IEP, the next step is to decide the educational placement of the students. Placement refers to the overall instructional setting in which a student receives this education, including special education and related other services. In deciding the child's placement, the ARD committee makes sure that the child spend more time of their school days with children without disabilities. School district is required to have the range of placement where child can be taught. Teams of trained teachers and aides are in all types of placements.
General education or mainstream education. It is a process of placing students with special education services in general education classroom. Some services that the student might receive in a mainstream setting includes direct instruction, helping teacher, team teaching, education aids, modification in lesson or instruction, or more teachers per students. Regular students is also placed in mainstream education. Resource room. This is a class of students who receive special education services and need intensive help to keep up with the grade level with. Students receive special education services outside the regular classroom for at least 21%, but not more than 60% of the school day. For example, the student placed in a resource room with a part-time instruction in a regular class. Students in resource class receive instruction and support based on their needs.
We hope that you learned something from this video.
Thank you for watching!